All right, as I said, this is the last one of the unit, and we will be moving on to translations next. Okay, this is CO5. I can use special angle relationships to find angle measures. Okay, let's take a look at our vocabulary. Exterior angles. An angle formed by any side of the shape in a line that extends from to the next. So this is like an exterior angle, the outside of the shape. Exterior, outside. Okay? Remote interior angle. The two angles inside the triangle and not adjacent to the exterior. So they're always just the ones across from it. Okay? That's a whole lot of verbiage. Exterior means the one on the outside. The remote interior one means kind of diagonal from your exterior angle. So if this were your exterior angle, this and this will be your remote interior. Opposite. They can't be connected to the exterior. Okay. There's a theory on this. Oh, that was blurry. Exterior angles theorem. What that's saying is this angle plus this angle will give you the exterior angle. So if you know this and this, you can figure out this. Pardon me. Sorry. Okay. Let's get started in with some numbers. So this one, we're trying to figure out this. What I just told you is if you know your two interior angles, your remote interior angles, you know the exterior one. Because you can take your 78 plus your 35, and it's going to give you that angle X. Okay, so we have 78 plus 35. What is 78 plus 35? You guys all have a calculator right in front of you. What do you get when you add 78 and 35? 113. So we know that X equals 113, so that's the degree measure. Notice I put a degree sign. Now, if we look at B, how could we write this? We know this plus this equals this. So how could I write that? Could I say X plus 26 equals 148? Would that be true? Okay, so how could I start solving for X now? What should I do? Not yet. Subtract, because it's a plus. Plus 26, so we're going to subtract 26. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. Is my math correct? Did I do that right? So this is 122 degrees. Are we with me so far? Do we understand what we're doing? Okay. Let's go to the top of the next page. What's this square mean right here? 90 degrees. Okay, so I want you to try to solve for X. Who can tell me how to set this one up? Very good. What should I do first? Minus 90. How much did you get? 47. So do we understand this part of it so far? Okay. Because we're going to make it a little bit more complicated. Do you ever see those things on Facebook and they're like, how many triangles do you see in this? Or how many rectangles do you see? You ever seen something like that and you have to see how many you can count? That's what this is kind of like. How many triangles do you see here? 2. Right here, right? And right here. So I have my big one and my small one. Okay? And we have to see, now some people are more visual and they like to pull out that small one. And they can just see it better if they pull it out. If that's you and you want to pull that other triangle out, go for it. Okay, so what it's asking for is to find the angle measure of H. So we start at H, A, E. So this angle right here. So if I pulled it out, looking at this, what would it correspond to in the big triangle? So here's your big triangle. What would this angle correspond to in the big triangle? 58. So I know that it's congruent, so the angle is 58 degrees. Questions on that one? Can everyone see those two triangles? Okay. We're still working with that same one. We're going to be working with this one for a little bit. Now it says it wants me to find the angle of Y. So it's down here. How many degrees are in a triangle? 180. We already know this angle. We know this angle. And we're missing this angle. So can I say 58 plus 77 plus Y equals 180? All right. Double check my math there. If you add 58 and 77, do you get 135? What should I do with that 135? Subtract it. Yep. So we're going to subtract from 180. Do you guys get 45? So this angle here is 45 degrees. What other angle is in 45 degrees? And the little triangle. What angle is also 45? E. We know this is 45, and we knew this was 58. We already did that. So we have now figured out all the angles in it. But we only have one thing left to find. Do you see X? It's a side length. What does x correspond to? 21. Now we got to find another angle measure, side length. Look at just your small triangle. Do you see another side length? 6, I like it. But now here's where the tricky part comes in. If you look at this, it's saying 8 measures from here to here. And 6 measures from here to here. So can I put 8 here? No. What do I need to put here? If 8 measures from here to here, and 6 measures from here to here, what's the whole thing? 15. 14, yes. 15 would have been if it was a 7. Does everyone see that, how we got that? Now I can cross multiply, divide. What'd you say? 9. Questions so far? Okay, I'm going to give you one very similar to what we just did. Pretty much the same setup, right? Big triangle, small triangle. If you want to pull out that small triangle, pull it out. This is angle L. This is angle K. And this is angle R that you're trying to find. When they put it like this, it's whatever the middle letter is. So this one says H, L, N. I'm looking at this angle. This one says R, K, H. I'm looking at this angle. So those are your angles. I want you to figure out, to the best of your ability, all of them. If you can't get them all, get some. Some of them you shouldn't have to do any math for. Try it. Don't just sit there. That's how you're going to learn. Okay, so what does it correspond to in the big triangle? No. Look at angles. So this one corresponds with this one. So this one would correspond with. Yes. So you already have the answer. What's this angle measure? 55. So that matches here. It's the same. Yes. They're talking angle. Yes. If you need to, if you want to pull that other triangle out, pull it out. And then you're just comparing the big triangle to the small triangle. What are you trying to find? R? Okay, so R's, you actually already found R. When you added this and this is R, not L. R is 90. L is right here. And it would correspond to what in the small triangle? Yep.
This triangle, you have this triangle. What is the same number as this? 20 signs RH. So what do you have that? Now you're looking for R, K. What would be the same number as K? Okay, look at that. Now you're going to put H, R, K again, but you're looking for R this time, okay? What numbers can you use that you can maybe, what numbers in here do you have? You're going to use this formula right here. To find R, you're going to use this cycle here.
Are we at a point where I can start going over this, we feel like? Okay, so angle L, which is right here, what does it correspond to in the small triangle? 35. So I've already got that one done. No math. Angle K, which is right here, what does it correspond to? 55. So that's done. Angle R, does that correspond to anything? No, because they share it. But we do know is 35 plus 55 plus R has to equal how much? Very good. And what did you get when you did that? Very good. Mm-hmm. So now we have that R is 90 degrees. What's the only thing left that we still need to find? X. So X, which is right here, what does it correspond to in the big triangle? 24. So now we're only looking at this stuff on the outside of the shape. Okay. And if you look at our little triangle again, because X was here, What other length do I know? 8. And what does 8 correspond to on this outside triangle? 12 and, because 12 only goes from here to here, 8 goes from here to here. So how much is it all together? 20. That's the part most people mess up, is not adding those two together. Now I can cross multiply, divide, x equals 9.6. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. This one I'm only having you find angle measures. So you have this and this triangle. I want you to find x, y, z. It's only angle measures. Let's kind of separate it out and try finding them all. You already know one of them because it corresponds. It's already there. Okay, let's talk about these. X. Let's just start with actually Y. What does Y correspond to in the big triangle? 75. So I already did that one right away, right? This is 75 degrees. Since I know 40 and I know 75 and I know that if I add Z, that's going to give me 180, right? Okay, so what's 40 plus 75?
150.
So I'm going to subtract that 150. What does Z equal then? It's not 150.
15.
Oh, 115. Like, I confused myself. It's easy to do on a Monday. Come on. 115. Did you guys get 65?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so I know that's Z, but what else do I know then? Because it corresponds, and corresponding angles are congruent, meaning they are the same. Do we understand just the angles? Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. All right, we're going to find them all. So we have angle K, M, and T. How could I find angle K? Remember at the beginning of this lesson, what adds to give angle K? Yep. So if I take 62 plus 47, maybe I should just actually do the math instead of pretending my ears can hear everything. 109. So I get K is 109. How could I figure out M? I love that idea. Sorry. I'm going to subtract that. Did you get 71? Now, how do you suppose I can figure out T? How do we figure out K? Added those opposite sides together, right? So how could I do the same for T and add the opposite sides together? Yeah. 62 plus 71 is going to give me T. Two plus 1 is 3. 6 plus 7 is 13. Okay, so this lesson we kind of do backwards. We do the explore at the end. because you had to know all those rules in order to be able to do the explore. So, let me zoom this back out a little, once I find where my mouse is. Okay, so use the diagram for steps 1 through 5. So you can see that we have an A, B, C, D, and E that we have to find. Okay, what is the relationship between the angle measures D, 49, and 56? So 49, 56, and D. We just talked about that. You have it right there in your notes. What is it? Yeah, but what's that called that we... Remember this? Exterior angles theorem. That's the relationship between it. Oh, was it theorem or theory? Theorem. So now we got to find the angle. So I can take 49 plus 56 to give me D. What does that equal? What's 49 plus 56 equal? 105. So we know that this. What I want you guys to do is they're asking a whole bunch of extra questions down here, but essentially what I want you to do is see how far you can get. I want you to find A, B, C, D, E. We already found D together. 105. See if what other ones you can find. I'm going to give you just a few minutes because we don't have a lot of time left. And then we'll go over them. Oh, to get B and C. So it would be, hold on, I gotta look at it this way. Because it's your exterior angles. It can't be connected. Oh, but it's 3 and it can only be 2. I would. Trying to think of the best way I can describe this to you. Because the exterior angle only works when it's 2 angles. See how this one's 3? So we can't do that. How should we do this? Name the special relationship between A and C. What is the value of C? Oh, they're alternate interior angles, so they're congruent. Because this line, if it were to extend, it'd be alternate, these are parallel. So they're the same. Does that make sense? Give you just a couple more minutes. All right. Am I okay to go over this, do you think? I'll even admit, once Erica just asked me about A, C, and B, I was like, how are we going to do that? This kind of gave me my hint. Okay, so A, let's find A. Could you take this, set equal to 180? And what did you get for A? 75. That one should have been pretty easy for us to find, right? I'm going to skip over B and C. Once we had 75, was I able to find E pretty easily? Because what can I add together to get E? 49 and 75. And what did you get? What? 124? Now, in order to get B and C, we have to use some prior knowledge. If this line, let's just pretend this line right here, extended, and this guy wasn't there. A and C are alternate interior angles. And we know alternate interior angles are congruent. So what is angle C? If alternate interior angles are congruent, 75. Same thing over here. Let's say this was my line from before, and this line's not here. B and 56 are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are congruent. So what does B measure? 56. Now, if I were you, and you wanted extra practice on this, you better be telling me